World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. The post-Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores are currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center or MDC in Brooklyn, New York. According to BBC News, U.S. lawyers have described the facility as hell on earth, citing severe overcrowding and staff shortages that have led to frequent violence inside the prison. Back in the year 2019, then New York Attorney General Letitia James called conditions at the MDC unacceptable and inhumane. A judge also warned that chaos reigns, saying uncontrolled violence has made some courts reluctant to send detainees there. Despite its poor reputation, the MDC remains the only federal jail in New York City and is often used to detain high-profile prisoners. These have included former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who faced drug trafficking charges and was later pardoned by U.S. President Donald Trump. Other well-known inmates held at the facility include Ghislaine Maxwell, an associate of Jeffrey Epstein, and rapper Sean Diddy Combs. In other news stories, last month, United States forces seized 2 oil tankers near the coast of Venezuela. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said one of the vessels, called Skipper, was used to transport oil from Venezuela and Iran that is under U.S. sanctions. The Venezuelan government strongly criticized the move, calling it an act of international piracy. Now, U.S. media partner CBS News reports, citing 2 American officials, that the United States is now planning to intercept another tanker. The vessel, named Marinera, was previously known as Bella One. When the U.S. Treasury Department placed Bella One on its sanctions list, it accused the ship's registered owner of having links to Iran and of supporting Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to CBS, discussions about intercepting the tanker took place even before the arrest of Nicolas Maduro and his wife. This also follows President Donald Trump's statement about 2 weeks ago that the U.S. Coast Guard was pursuing the vessel. CBS also reports the operation could happen as early as this week, but officials say it could also be delayed or canceled. Meanwhile, Reuters reports that about a dozen oil tankers have already left Venezuelan waters since the start of the year, despite U.S. President Trump ordering what he called a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering or leaving Venezuela. And finally, a court in Paris has found 10 people guilty of cyber harassing France's First Lady Brigitte Macron over false claims about her gender. According to Reuters, the ruling on Monday said the group spread untrue allegations that Brigitte Macron is a transgender woman who was born male. For years, she and her husband, French President Emmanuel Macron, have been targets of online rumors, including claims that she was born under the name Jean-Michel Trogneux, which is actually the name of her older brother. The couple has also faced criticism over their 24-year age gap. While they largely ignored the attacks in the past, they have recently chosen to challenge them in court. The decision is seen as a legal win for the Macrons, who are also pursuing a separate defamation case in the United States against right-wing influencer and podcaster Candace Owens, who has made similar claims. The court found 8 men and 2 women guilty of posting malicious comments about Bridget Macron's gender and sexuality, with some even comparing the age gap in her marriage to pedophilia. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.